Without question, the eyes of the nation, indeed the eyes of the world, are on this arena here in Philadelphia tonight. Behind me, over my right shoulder, you can see Senator Elizabeth Warren speaking right now. She was one of a handful of people who had been frequently talked about possibly being a vice presidential candidate for Hillary Clinton. But you're exactly right. This convention got off to a somewhat fractious start. The email scandal certainly threw a wrench in the works, and throughout the day, the Democratic National Committee had been trying to move forward in a unified fashion. But it has been difficult. Many of Bernie Sanders supporters are very upset at the way this has played out. Very significant. A short while ago, within the last 10 to 15 minutes, First Lady Michelle Obama delivered a very powerful speech in support of Hillary Clinton. It could have been the first step toward unifying this party. It was the first time I saw everybody stand and cheer as one. But security is always going to be a major concern. If you think about it, this week they have a former president, they have the current president and vice president of the U.S. who will be speaking, and also the presumptive Democratic presidential nominee, let alone the legions of delegates and others who have flocked here for this 4 days of speeches and 4 days of setting the party's platform. So security is going to be a key issue.
Then, Sean, tell us more about the fallout from the
It seems everywhere you
emails.
look near the site of the Democratic National Convention, there are police, flashing lights, road closures, and detours, as Philadelphia welcomes thousands of Democratic leaders and the party prepares to nominate its presidential candidate. The overwhelming concern is safety.
We've got a comprehensive plan, as you might imagine. And we're confident in that, and we're confident that we'll keep the people who are visiting here and working here safe.
Philadelphia is receiving more than $43 million from the federal government to offset the cost of keeping the convention safe. Nearly 1/3 of that is earmarked for police overtime and equipment, and to pay for outside officers as well as a bomb squad. Philadelphia has close to 600 kilometers of coastline that needs monitoring.
We got to prepare for any type of scenario that might affect an event such as this. Where the Declaration of Independence was signed, so a lot of history in this town. So we want to make sure we maintain that history and keep it safe.
Feel the burn! Feel the burn!
Despite pleas for democratic unity, protesters are already taking to the streets. They are frustrated with Democratic leadership and an email scandal that has embarrassed the Democratic National Committee. Police know demonstrations come with the territory.
When it comes to protesters, delegates, citizens, elected officials, we need to come together in a unified way to make this country move forward, and that's what we're looking forward to do.
But while the finishing touches go up in the convention arena, the unspoken fear is always out there. A terrorist attack, like those in France and so many other nations around the world.
What we're dealing with internationally is sad and frightening and unpredictable. So, you have to go into every day as if it's a normal day and try to take the necessary precautions to keep people safe, our citizens, protesters, our officers.
Well, it's interesting because the authorities say one thing they can plan for and prepare for are the protests that come with the various political candidates. But the major concern is the unpredictable, perhaps a terrorist threat, perhaps some kind of gunfire. I can tell you they have built a fence that covers about 6 kilometers, and the fence is almost 3 meters high. Everything they can do to keep anybody out of this venue that is hosting this year's Democratic National Convention.
And Sean, tell us more about the fallout from the leaked emails sent by Democratic National Committee officials and staff members, which appeared to discuss ways to undermine Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, without question, it was an embarrassing, painful hit to the Democratic Party here in the United States. It happened this weekend. Some 20,000 emails went out over WikiLeaks, and many of them showed that the Democratic National Committee, which is supposed to be a fair, impartial group that works with the democratic process, was in essence working in conjunction with Hillary Clinton's camp. And they were going out of their way to try to discredit Bernie Sanders, attack his religion, attack his supporters. And when this information came out, Sanders said he wasn't shocked, but he was upset. And he basically demanded that the Democratic National Chairwoman step down from her post. She agreed to step down, but as of this morning, she was still going to be the person who called this convention to order with the gavel. But this morning at a meeting with her delegates. It erupted in a series of boos. It was clear that this was a mark on the party that wasn't going away, so she stepped down in the name of unity. But it has been a tough day. We're going to see Bernie Sanders speak here shortly. He's about the only speaker left to talk to the group today, and throughout the day we have heard chants of Bernie, Bernie, Bernie coming from these delegates, so it's going to be interesting.